Hello everyone, my name is Sachin and today we are going to start with the next point of strength of material which is based upon the simple stresses and strain. So the point that we are going to discuss in this particular lecture is bars of varying cross section. Bars of varying cross section. So in the earlier lecture we have discussed about the deformation calculation when the forces are acting on a particular object. So we'll take that same concept and we'll try to elaborate and we'll try to apply that same concept into the bars of varying cross section. So whenever there is object which is simple having a cross sectional area A, so if I take this as a circular bar having a cross sectional area A, the length L, and if it is subjected to a force P on both sides. Now because of the application of this force P, what will happen? There will be an increase in length, so the object will have the increase in length. So initially the size, we will assume this as A. So this was L, and now the size has, or the length has increased from L to delta L by 2 on this side and delta L by 2 on this side, and the area which was initially A, now it has decreased to A dash. Now with respect to this, we have already seen that stress can be calculated as load upon area and the strain can be calculated as change in length upon original length. So here the change in length will be delta L by 2 plus delta L by 2, so it is delta L divided by 2. Now we will try to relate these things. So what I can write here is Young's modulus is equals to stress divided by strain, or we have derived the equation which is stress is equals to modulus of elasticity into strain, which is the basic fundamental equation, constitutive law for stress and strain. Now based on this I am writing this. So I'll substitute the values of stress and strain. So P by A divided by delta L upon, sorry, here it is L, delta L upon L is equal to the value of E. Now if I resolve this, what will I will get? I will get dl or delta L is equals to PL divided by AE. This is what we have derived in the earlier lecture. This is the equation when the object is having a cross-sectional area A and it is having a length L. Now when the object is having multiple cross sections and multiple lengths, what will happen to that particular part? That we will try to understand. The member is having different length and different cross-sectional area. Now with respect to this, we will try to draw a diagram which will show the different lengths and different areas. So what we are doing is we are assuming that the initial position or initial part is having length L and the area is A1. Similarly, the second part is having L2 length and it is having area A2, and third is having area length L3 and it is having the area A3, and it is subjected to the force P on this side as well as the force P on this side. Now because of the applied force P, what will happen to the change in length of this entire object? So this entire object is a single piece, but it has got different length, different areas. Sometimes you may find that this object will also have different value of E. So again we will consider that different modulus of elasticity E. Now with respect to that, what I can write here is this is E1, this is E2, and this is E3. Now based on this we will try to understand what will happen to the change in length. Now for this we have to understand the principle of superposition. What does that mean? That principle of superposition says that the total change in length of this particular entire object because of the force P is equal to the individual change, sum of the individual change in lengths of these individual members because of the application of force P. What does that mean? Suppose because of this force P, if the total change in length is equal to dl, and suppose the first part change in length in part 1 is equal to dl1. Similarly in part 2 we will assume that it is dl2, and similarly in part 3 it is dl3. Now because of the principle of superposition, what I can say is the change in length, this dl is because of this P, and this dl1, dl2, dl3 are also because of this force P. That means dl will be equals to dl1 plus dl2 plus dl3. That means the total change in length of this entire object because of the force P is equal to sum of the individual change in lengths of an individual part because of the force P, and this is very very important concept, and this is based upon principle of superposition. This is because of the principle of superposition. Now we'll apply this in concept to this particular part, and we will try to first calculate the individual change in lengths, and then we will try to add these and we will try to calculate the total change in length. So dl1, to calculate dl1, what I have to do is, or I'll write calculating dl1. So for dl1, first I have to separate out this first part from this entire system. So I will write only the first part, and for the first part there is a force which is acting P over here. So to counterbalance this particular force or this particular surface will apply equal and opposite force because of the Newton's third law. So there will be an equal and opposite force which is equals to the reaction, and this is nothing but the force P, and it has got the length L1, and it has got the area A1, and the modulus of elasticity as E1. Now based on this, what I can write, dl1 is equal to P1, which is nothing but P1 L1 divided by A1 into E1. Since P1 and P is same, so P into L1 divided by A1 into E1. So this is for the first part. Then we will try to calculate for the second and third part. Now for the second part, for part 2, which is dl2. So again I am considering this second part, and in the first part we have seen that there is equal and opposite force, and for that there will be an equal and opposite force in this direction which is equals to R, nothing but P. On this side also it is R equals to P. The length of this is L2, area will be A2, and modulus of elasticity is E2. Now from this what I can write is dl2 is equals to PL2 divided by A2 into E2. Now once you do this, we will go for part 3. For part 3 we are going to calculate DL3, and now for this what I can write is, there is a force P, equal and opposite force which will be under reaction, so R equals to P, and the length is L3 and area is A3 and the modulus of elasticity is E3. And from the same concept what I can write is DL3 is equals to PL3 divided by A3 into E3. Now we know that DL is equals to DL1 plus DL2 plus DL3. Now we will write this. DL is nothing but DL is equal to, first one is PL1 upon A1 into E1 plus PL2 divided by A2 into E2 plus PL3 divided by A3 into E3. And this is the equation that we are going to use for bars of varying cross section having different lengths and different modulus of elasticities. Now in most of the cases you will find that E1, E2 and E3 will be same if the material for all the 3 parts is same, or for number of parts is same, and if the lengths are same, then again we can have length equal to LLL if it is of same length. But we will assume that it is of different lengths, different areas and different modulus of elasticities. Now based on this part we will try to solve some of the problems. So problem number 1, we are going to solve a straight bar a straight bar 450 mm long, 450 mm long is 20 millimeter in 20 millimeter in diameter for first 250 millimeter length, for first 250 millimeter length, and 10 millimeter diameter, 10 millimeter diameter for the remaining length. If the bar is subjected to an axial pull, if the bar is subjected to an axial pull of 10 kilonewton, find the extension of the bar. Take E equals to 2 into 10 to the power 5 Newton per millimeter square. Now based on this data we are going to solve the problem. So first we will write whatever is the data which is given to us. So given data, we have the total length is 450 millimeter. Out of that the 20 millimeter diameter, so I will write this as D1, which is 20 millimeter diameter for the first portion, which is of L1 equals to 250 millimeter. And for the remaining part, so out of 450, the 250 is first part, so remaining is 200. So L2 is 200 millimeter and diameter for that part is 10 millimeter. And we have an axial pull of 10 kilonewton. So it is equals to 10 into 10 to the power 3 Newton. Find the extension of the bar. So first we'll try to draw the diagram. So you have a first part which is of 20 millimeter diameter, and second part which is of 10 millimeter diameter. So this one is 250 and the remaining is 200, and this particular part is having diameter of 10 millimeter, and this particular part is having a dia of 20 millimeter. And for both the parts, the value of E is constant, so here I can write E and E as a common parameter. Now we have the equation which is a generalized equation as dl equals to dl1 plus dl2 likewise dln. This is the basic equation that we have. Now based on this same concept, we will try to solve the problem, and it is subjected to a force of 10 kilonewton. So 10 into 10 to the power 3 Newton, 10 into 10 to the power 3 Newton. Now when I can solve this problem, I will have to separate out these two parts. So when I can separate out this part, I will consider the first part, part 1. So in the part 1, I'll draw the left hand side part which is having length 250, which is 10 into 10 to the power 3, and there will be equal and opposite force which is 10 into 10 to the power 3. Now for this, the value of E is equals to 2 into 10 to the power 5, and now area is equals to, for this we have a diameter D1 which is equals to 20 millimeter. Now for this we have an area pi by 4 into 20 square is equal to 314.16 millimeter square. So from this what I can write this as dl1 is equals to P, which is 10, or P into L1 divided by A1 into E, which is equals to 10 into 10 to the power 3 into L as 250 divided by area is 314.16 into 2 into 10 to the power 5. So this is what is the deformation for the first part. We will try to solve this. So when I solve this, what I will get is so this becomes 0.039 or 0.04 millimeter. I'll check once again. Okay, so you will get this as dl1 which is equals to 0.0397 or 98 millimeter. Similarly, we will try to solve for part 2. Part 2, we have the force which is 10 into 10 to the power 3 on left hand side, and there will be an equal and opposite force which is 10 into 10 to the power 3, and we have a length which is 200 millimeter. Diameter for this is 10 millimeter, and the value of E is equals to 2 into 10 to the power 5. Now area for this we can calculate. Area will be equals to pi by 4 into 10 square, which is equals to 78.54. Now based on this data we will calculate the value of dL2, which is equals to PL2 divided by A2 into E, which is equals to 10 into 10 to the power 3 into L is 200 divided by A, area is 78.54 into 2 into 10 to the power 5. So from this you will get the value of dL2, which is equals to 10 into 10 to the power 3 into 200 divided by 78.54 into 2 into 10 to the power 5. So from this you will get this as 0.127 millimeter. Now the total deformation will be addition of these two, so dl will be equals to total change in length, which is equals to increase in length since the forces are tensile, which is equals to 0.127 plus 0.0398. So the total deformation will be 0.167 millimeter. So this is the total change in length. So likewise we have to solve the problem which are based upon the bars of varying cross section. So we will try to solve these problems in the coming lectures as well. So we will continue this part in the next lecture. Thank you.